So see this eye here, the skin ring indicates that the skin is not filtering waste out properly. The skin is taking the burden of the kidneys because the kidneys are probably not working well, and the thyroid is probably weak. So you need to sweat more, you need to get the thyroid working properly, you need to get the kidneys and adrenals working properly, okay? You can also see on the eye here, the purple hue, that's a cholesterol, we call it cholesterol in the eye. This indicates high acidosis. The body is using cholesterol to buffer metabolic waste. Okay, you can also see the cholesterol ring around the eye, that purple hue as well. That also indicates the cholesterol in the high acidosis. The bowels, all this here is the bowels here. All you see here, this line here, are the bowels. Notice how over here the bowels are ballooning out a bit. This is the ascending colon, okay? And then it's spastic, which means that, you know, it probably have fecal matter stuck in the bowels. And in transverse colon right here, it's almost compressed to the pupil, okay? In line with the pituitary gland as well. And the descending colon here as well is very spastic and compressed, okay? So all this indicates a chronic bowel. Around the eye here, you can see that dark ring around the eye, that's a malabsorption ring. Usually indicates that you're not absorbing nutrients properly because the small intestines normally are blocked with mucoid plaque. You can see radii solaris, fine lines, almost well-defined lines coming out of the pupil. This indicates toxic tunnels coming from the bowels and the GI tract, leaching to other body parts and gland. Also very prominent are nerve rings. You see those rings around the eye, almost like a tree of a trunk. That indicates a weak nervous system as well. And you can see those white dots around the eye. That's usually means a stagnant lymph system in the lymph nodes. So lymph nodes are swelling or getting harder. Okay, so you want to detox that. If you notice around the bowels, that yellow line around the bowels, that's the autonomic nerve wreath. That indicates a weak nervous system as well. Okay. You can see that when you see yellow means that it's subacute lymph stagnation. And usually when you see white means acute. But yellow means it's getting to the subacute level, and which will eventually lead to the chronic level. So you want to detox it. My impression of this eye is that it's a true blue eye, okay? But it's covered with lymph, as you can see the green and the yellow. So you can see clearly of the color of the true color of the eye. You can see the pituitary gland and the pineal gland right here, okay? Very chronic. The pituitary gland controls all the other glands, and so when that's down or weak, then the other glands will suffer as well. The pineal gland, as close to the pituitary gland, is responsible for sleep and insomnia, etc. So you want to detox that. Right here, this region right here, this is the sinuses, okay? The nose region. You can see heavy lymph stagnation on it. You can see that right here is the parathyroid and thyroid region. You can see heavy lymph stagnation. Remember when I said the thyroid is weak, it will show as a skin ring? Because the thyroid, you're not sweating properly, so the skin cannot eliminate waste properly, okay? The parathyroid is responsible for tissue integrity. So you see how your bowels are spastic. It's also due to weak parathyroid as well, okay? And right here is the esophagus and the bronchus region. You can see heavy lymph stagnation, okay? Right here is the back region, okay? You can see heavy lymph stagnation. And right here is the uterus and the vagina region. You can see it's chronic. And right here is very important. You see that lacuna? That means that when you see something like this, it means that energy flow is limited. Nutrients are not going in as much as it should, and waste is not coming out as much as it should. So it forms a lacuna or enclosure. And right here, it's right smack on the kidneys and adrenals. This is crucial because remember, if the kidneys don't filter, lymph system gets hard or stagnant. As you can see, it's getting yellow. That's the lymph system. And the other organs will tend to suffer. That's why it's important to address the kidneys and adrenals right here, okay? Right here is the right foot, knee, and thigh region. You can see heavy lymph stagnation, the white mass here. And right here, this region right here, is the groin and lower abdomen region. You can see how it's very heavy lymph stagnation. And right here, that's the pancreas and the ovary section. You can see heavy lymph stagnation. And right here, this region right here, that's the liver and gallbladder region. You can see, so it's getting to the chronic side. Right here is all the chest region. You can see heavy lymph stagnation. And right across here, this is the chest and heart region, heavy lymph stagnation. Here is the shoulder and neck region. You can see very heavy lymph stagnation. So there's congestion here, lymph congestion. So actual lacuna right here as well. The lacuna is actually at the scapula, okay, for very heavy, thick lymph stagnation. And right here is the mastoid and medulla region. You can see heavy lymph stagnation. Mastoid and medulla are used for balancing, for equilibrium, etc. And when they are affected, you can have these issues, dizziness, etc. And right here, this entire region right here, this is the brain. And okay, the brain, as you can see, is very heavy lymph stagnation, but you can see a lot of rays or lines hitting it. Okay, this indicates congestion in the brain area. All here, this layer here is the scalp. Okay, the scalp and the hair. Okay, you can see it's quite has quite a bit of lymph stagnation on it as well. Okay, so I mean, this eye needs a lot of detox, because the lymph is getting to the yellow side, the subacute side. So you need to go on a 100% fruit diet. It will take you a while. And these things you see here, the lacuna, as I described to you, indicate a lack of energy flow in and out of the tissue. So this is going to take a while to move the lymph system. So 100% fruit diet with herbs for the kidneys, adrenals, lymph system, stomach, and bowels are going to help. You can use brain and nerve for the brain and nervous system as well. Okay, get the kidneys and adrenals to work properly. Kidney herbs will do very well. Maybe adrenal glandula will help. Overall, that's how you get started, and you see this will clear up nicely. It will take a bit of time though.